Need a last-minute adventure for tomorrow's session? What about niche rules for golem creation? Or the perfect player options for your character concept? DungeonMastersGuild.com has got you covered. Use code CRITGUILD to save 20%.
One of these days, I'm going to get the damn right buttons.
I only have to hit 2, and I still mess up, so it's okay. Hey, Austin, it's UTT intro. What? UTT intro. What's UTT? Oh!
I'll remember some point.
One day I'll know.
One day you'll be a real boy.
That's not gonna happen.
Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Austin.
And I'm your co-host, Ian.
This podcast was created to provide you, our heroes, with new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
Our show might not be suitable for young children, but neither has our D&D games.
Technically, our D&D games aren't for anybody since we
Because
missed two.
we haven't done it for a month straight.
Yeah.
And at defense,
I was
no one's
sick.
shown up to a couple once or twice when I try to run them
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, it's
People
been
are
rough.
busy.
Life happens.
I am really excited to talk about, or for today's episode.
Yeah, we were going off a huge tangent for it just a minute ago.
Our character concept is awesome. It's a two-headed,
Ogre giant?
And
which brings me to our main topic, which is the Ettinling Package, which is basically 2 players, 1 race.
one body,
And one body.
two heads.
Is just totally full of hilarity, and I cannot wait to talk about it. We got a lot of great stuff for you guys today.
Yeah.
So, first, a little housekeeping. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to support us, please consider heading on over to critacademy.com and checking out all of our best-selling D&D supplements that are there. You can become a patron member. We got all kinds of fat loots. I got a special. I think I might have made this announcement previously, but we have upgraded all of our Patreon tiers, so lots of good stuff. This month will be the first month we're giving away a custom map in addition to the one-page adventure that is professionally written. So I'm really excited for all that, as well as I have a new product coming out. Did you guys see the post? Called for Words of Power.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We
It's
go
like-
through
it's
so
like,
many
which one?
products that we're like, is
Which one?
now?
I'm really excited for it. I just finished the last of the layout. I got pretty much one more page, which is just like the credits and end page thing. So I'm super excited for that. On the Facebook and the Twitter, I did some posts that kind of showed a little bit about what it was, a little of what it was about. So
Fun stuff. Definitely really awesome roleplay opportunities.
yes, I'm very nerdy, and I've been wanting to make that for a long time. So that being said, thank you for joining us today here at Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your roles don't matter.
Yep, that's right. Your lows are like an Etten with 2 heads that agree. Actually, yes. I had to reread that just in case. I was like, no, that's right.
If our role-playing before the show started was any indication.
Yes, they should probably never agree, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I am still getting over my sickness, so my voice is still a little choppy, and I am coughing a little bit, but it's a lot better now. My devil eyes aren't as bad. They're getting better.
Yeah, his packed fiend is not as happy with him.
Right, I'm losing my power. Unlimited cosmic power until the patron pulls it away.
Yeah, and then you're
Nothing.
kind of a normal man again.
I like how you assume you even had power in the first place.
I didn't. My wife has it all. The only time I ever had power is when I got it turned on and I paid the electrical bill. That's the only power I have in my relationship.
I think it was Gabriel Ingles who was like talking with like his stepson's friends about superheroes. Who the heck is Green Lantern? It's the guy who gets power from his ring. No man with a ring has power.
I'm
man.
gonna be joining that trope soon.
So I'm. Yeah,
eventually.
You're engaged right now, right?
Eventually, yeah.
You guys got a date set?
August 20th.
Nice.
You guys hear that? August 20th, live stream, his wedding. You'll see it.
There's like 3 different live streams going on. Everyone has their phones out. It's the new age of technology.
I hope to rejoin the troop eventually, but there's a few prereqs gotta hit first.
Yeah, you gotta hit a few of these.
That being said, let's move on to our Let's Talk About Blank segment. Baldur's Gate 3 world premiere happened this week. Oh my god.
Okay. I should be more excited about this, but I've been so focused on other things that I haven't been able to.
You let me down, Austin.
I understand.
All right, and a full disclaimer on my end, I did not watch the 2.5-hour gameplay video, but I did read articles about it, and I did watch the theatrical trailer too.
Yeah, so my wife just said, "That's right, know your place, Wedge." Well, I'm super excited for it. I was a huge Baldur's Gate fan growing up. I loved the hell out of Dark Alliance.
Yeah,
bar none, one of the best couch co-op experiences I've ever had.
Oh, yeah. Dark Alliance, I played it on the PS2,
Yep.
I think, a long time ago, and getting the Onyx Blade was the best thing ever. Literally. You got it from a drop, and you were like...
Buying the Dark Alliance games on eBay is not cheap.
No, it's not. It's hard to find.
Oh, yeah,
That being said, this is not Dark Alliance, unfortunately, though that is coming. Baldur's Gate 3, though, is a continuation of the first two RPGs. Do you know, was it BioWare?
Yeah, BioWare.
I think it was
Put those out?
BioWare, yeah.
Which was just absolutely an amazing experience as a player of video games and as a person who loves D&D and stories. The new Baldur's Gate 3 trailer, in all its goodness, had some amazing focus. We are getting Mind Flayers in the battle between them and the Githyanki, which is just awesome.
Wow, the Dark Alliance games nosedived in price on eBay compared to what I paid for it.
Yeah, is it like 120, 130?
No, it's like $20 now.
Oh, no shit.
It depends on which one you get to as well.
No, I'm looking at both right now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Wow.
But anyways, so in the new video, we got to watch Larian Studios. I think his name's Sven, the CEO of that, play kind of like an hour and a half or so of gameplay. And I love that they chose to do turn-based instead of freeze pausing or live pause or whatever it's called.
The thing that, like, Final Fantasy 15 did? Similar to
Yeah,
that?
that's a live play pause. They didn't do that. They did what they do best, which is turn-based, which is what they did for Divinity Original Sin 2 and 1.
Yes. Okay.
Which, by the way, if you haven't played as an RPG person, you need to. They're amazing.
Just read some of the shenanigans players did in game. Like, they did what with what?
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom. And that's why I was excited. Dude, the damn guy was fighting Intellect Devours and pulled his boots off out of his inventory and threw them at the Intellect Devourer. Like, that has totally got to be a character concept, right? Throw your boots at your enemy.
Why do you just have a backpack full of boots? Watch this, Sonny.
I actually remember reading about how in one of the earlier Divinity games, they actually beat one boss by running to another boss, attacking it, and kited it to the other boss.
And they just started beating each other up?
Yes.
That's so fun.
So
stuff like that.
Larian has already gotten a huge clout when it comes to turn-based games. I was super impressed with the verticality of this game. Like, between where he started and he ended, it went up and, like, scaled up the side of a mountain and stuff. And
Oh, wow, okay.
He literally put feather fall and then jumped off and, like, drifted to the bottom, and you could just see how far, what scale it was in just the time that he played. I love that it's all voiced over, and I cannot wait to delve into the lore that is Forgotten Realms in this sort of
just in this, like, style.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's been too long since we've been there. And
Especially in, like, Baldur's Gate, which is just such an interesting place to begin with and has so much history behind it.
well, what's interesting is, if I'm not mistaken, based on what I was reading, that this is actually a sequel to The Descent into Avernus. Which is one of the reasons
fun.
why I really wanted to play Descent into Avernus, because this takes place after it. I mean, the opening cinematic is a giant squid-like alien ship with a Mind Flayer walking through and putting little tadpoles that got, like, giant little teeth that, like, suck onto the person's eye, and then it goes right into the brain. And
Ugh, that's brutal.
From what I understand, the characters all have these tadpoles in them and are about to undergo that metamorphosis
oh my
to become a
goodness.
Mind Flayer, and they're trying to figure it out. So I'm super excited. It sounds awesome. If it's got Githyanki in it, you can expect some stuff to happen, hopefully in the astral sea and the astral plane, all that sort of stuff. I am really just geeking out right now. So
Man.
I went a little too much. Did you have anything else you thought that was interesting about what you read or saw?
I'm curious. I know they said they're going to be basing the gameplay off of 5th edition D&D, so I'm just curious how far are they going to take it? What spells are going to be in there? What races will be available? How are they going to integrate the archetypes into the player options?
Yeah, there's definitely a few things that we're gonna have to think about.
Well,
when
I
it
feel
happens.
I feel like if they take any notes from their game Divinity's Original Sin, it'll be a lot like that, because that is a turn like an RPG with the same progression. Like, even when I watched him at the character creation, it looked very similar to Divinity.
Yeah.
So I did notice, what, to your point, they did make some changes. Like, Mage Hand can actually do some stuff that it can't, kind of, like, it can shove people. In fact, I laughed my head off when he used a Mage Hand to shove an Intellect Devourer off an edge of a cliff.
Although, to be fair, Brandon did let me trip somebody with Mage Hand one time when he ran briefly.
I would allow that.
That's true.
That's minor. So,
But
It's not like you're inherently damaging them.
Right.
right, and I'm also curious. I'm going to, by and large, stick with the PHP, and like I said, what spells will be in there. Like, I don't think we'll see Wish, for example. But
What? I mean, you
Wish,
might see a
send an email
limited
to Larian.
version of
because
Wish,
good luck
perhaps.
balancing that sucker.
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. There's definitely probably some concerns there, but I'm excited.
Summon Greater Demon would be so fun, though.
Yep.
I'm excited. I really
Get him,
am.
boy! Get him!
Attack him, not me. We made a deal. Briefly. Brief
know-
deal.
You know what I thought was really cool that you don't see in a lot of games? They use the shadows and everything for, like, stealth mechanics, and you can separate your party members, and, like, he sent one up and around to where this one guy was at. And so when the other group went around and engaged these two and talked a lot of shit to this halfling, who basically just ended up drawing his weapon on him, the other character that he had in stealth up on the top I think he just prodded the guy right off the edge, and he fell. It took a
wow.
lot of verticality. And because he could separate the group, he was able to stop that archer from having a good vantage point on him and his allies. So I'm really excited for it. Yes, there was bugs. There was a lot of bugs.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
So, but that's part of the game.
I'm now picturing them doing
He's
an
an
all
alpha.
druid party and suddenly this entire mass of squirrels. It's like swarming the enemies.
Squirrel.
Or there's like an all paladin party where they're just marching through everything. It doesn't matter. They're like, oh, this is a stealth mission? Not today.
It's still a stealth mission, just nobody allowed to raise the alarm.
Well, I'm really excited for this, and like I said, I rushed home and got my chores done so I could make sure I watched this thing when it went live. And I was about 10 minutes late, but that's okay.
Yeah, you know.
It was awesome. So, that
Yeah.
being said, I'm super excited, Larian. I can't wait to see what else you do with it. So,
Woo!
that being said, before we move on to our main topic, we have a gift to give away.
Yeah. It's a giveaway from our wonderful people at Loresmith, the modular dungeon tiles of the Arcania ones. The modular dungeon tiles are an easy way to create your own beautiful digital maps. The Arcania lets you make dark, shadowy dungeon map with the rich fumes of arcane secrets. Ian, who's our winner?
Why, our winner today is Dragon Man 2323.
We did it.
Congratulations, Dragon Man 2323.
Was a man.
If you didn't win,
He was a
Have no fear.
dragon man.
head on over to critacademy.com/loresmith to get a free set of digital terrain yourself, as well as some other really cool goodies.
Yeah.
Now, on to the main topic, and I'm going to be honest. We don't cover a lot of races on this show because mostly I don't feel like I could get an entire main topic out of them. I made an exception for the Ettinling Package.
Which is a DM's Guild supplement, just so we're upfront about that.
Yeah, it is not like an actual like Wizards of the Coast thing or anything like that.
And it's actually a very popular bestseller. So,
With good reason. Good reason.
So kind of in display with their kind of chaotic magical heritage, Ettinglings were born with two heads atop of a single hulking frame. Their contorted body is mirrored in their twisted twin minds, as each head houses an individual brain with its own personality, thoughts, and goals.
Yeah. We're all kind of like reeling the things we've seen in our head. We're like, yeah, that's right.
Now, when I first thought of this, I was like, okay, how are you gonna make this work? How are you gonna make 2 players play 1 character? Well,
It does it really surprisingly well.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like,
You could almost say where there's a will, there's a way.
yeah.
So
One being will, the other guy way.
So one in the traditional sense, one head prides itself with the imposing presence of being the will, as it's called in this supplement, as it is typically called. It prefers to engage in the more social aspects of the Ettin's engagement with the world around him, preferring instead wanting its partner to remain kind of quiet, which honestly
Doesn't work. No.
not at
no.
all.
No.
Menial tasks such as motor control are beneath the will's concern, preferring instead to be carted around by its partner. However, it does deign to maintain control of one of its arms and hands. So there's that.
Yeah. So it does have some semblance of independence on there.
Yeah, it can smack the other head if it wants.
Or if it just hold it down real quick, make it shut up or something. Or
Read between the lines, my friend.
I don't see any lines, just see your fingers. Are those the lines?
You have to hold them sideways.
I still don't get it.
Exactly.
Oh.
The will views
I
the
like eggs
partner
too.
as the dull-witted and foolish, and often believes that the other half would never have survived alone without the wits and cunning of the will. Now,
Yeah.
in stark contrast with that, the other head retains more of the primal strength of its giant heritage, demonstrated by its control over the majority of the motor functions.
Like feet.
Uh,
Both of them.
And
like the legs, which also consequently means the ass. So the other one's not gonna know when it has to shit. The dumb one is gonna know. So
the will will be like, oh, you did it.
diplomatic meeting is adjourned.
Oh my
I
god.
gotta go take shit.
So the way, as it may be referred to, controls both legs, the torso, and the arm, as we just stated. The way takes pride in dominating contests of physical strength and is quick to act against any imposing threats. The way sees its partner as weak and feeble, a runt that would never survive alone without Way being around to back up the will's sharp tongue.
Hey, did he just call us an idiot?
No. He called you an idiot.
Oh, kill him! You're gonna watch, because you have to.
Oh my god. So right off the bat, what is your guys' first impressions of this?
This is...
The roleplay is already coming out in our show.
You gotta... There's a certain thing you have to share with the other player, I have to imagine, because... Again, one of them controls the legs and the ass of the other one.
You seem really obsessed with that part.
Because the roleplay is there.
No, dude, okay, now I gotta get really nasty for a second.
Ah, that's fine.
When I was a kid, they used to say, you're not supposed to, pleasure yourself or whatever. But if you ever get too used to it, use the other hand. If he literally used the other hand, it would be somebody else's hand.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So which hand wipes the ass?
I'm assuming the one that owns the ass.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Oh jeez.
I promise we're actually gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this at some point. So you might be asking yourself, how does this work? Well,
It's got a lot of things going on,
yeah,
admittedly.
it really does. There's a lot of shared traits and characteristics.
Yeah, like health. Health is shared. It's just a giant pool, isn't it?
Yeah, so let's be clear. When 2 players pick this race, each one independently gets to pick a class.
Yep.
Which I think is just fantastic.
Which I also made the joke earlier that Way is the rogue and Will is something that doesn't want to be with a rogue.
Like, see, that's a really good example. Like, what if the rogue is the strategic head, and then the other dumb one's the big barbarian who is, like, messing up all his stealth checks. He's like, all right, we're going to sneak in here. Hey, you guys!
Catch this rock! So he whips the rock. He's like, Do I at
Oh my
least still get
gosh.
sneak attack off that? Like, do I get a surprise round?
It's not for that weapon, so no.
So, partnership is definitely a necessity between both players, but I think creating two characters of opposing personalities really is what will get you the most out of this character. Obviously, in the Will and Way example, they have opposing personalities, right? You got the
Yeah.
smart, intellectual, then you got the big dumb brute.
Which I think both players have to take one of those roles. I think it's like a requirement. Like they do take certain like stats. Like if you're Way, you take like an intelligence and charisma.
Yep, you're
downwards, right?
You're getting ahead of me, but that's
Oh,
okay. We can go
okay.
right to that. So you actually, just like any other race, there are stat modifiers, but the stat modifiers are different depending on which head you are. So for instance, you start with a 2 Constitution, but then each head has its own details depending on which one you are and where is that at.
Is it
So,
further down? Yeah, right here. Okay.
For Way, you get a +2 to increase your strength, but your intelligence score decreases by 2 and your wisdom down by 1, right? And then for Will, your charisma is increased by 2, but your strength score decreases by 2 and your dex is down by 1.
Oh, but Will could be a warlock.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Or sorcerer.
And then you can get him like pack the blade, and then you're like, here, use this weapon. Ah, thank you.
Oh, dude, the Will is totally manipulating the Way into doing what it wants, like Scooby Snacks.
Here is javelin. I conjure it for you. Oh, do I throw it? Yes, you throw it. Oh, sweet. Okay, but how do it come back?
You have to go get it
Can't you make another one?
in an hour. How long does it take to make that? Is it an hour?
That's the bottom of the new
Oh,
one.
I'm thinking of the
So you
fighter.
can make new one.
Yes, we make new one.
Oh,
So
Where did one
anyways,
go?
so let's talk a little bit about the mechanics. So first thing, there are very specific details in how this works. First of all,
Yes.
the total hit points are sum of both Will and Way and are shared between both heads.
which by the way, you both get a Constitution +2 to your
get a lot of hit
score, so
points.
you're gonna have a big chunk of hit points.
Each class or each head has its own armor class separately. One partner can wear, the other one can't for obvious reasons, because it's just a head. Though I
Yeah.
do like the idea of the Will's hand holding a shield and using it to defend himself.
Well,
Right?
do you target each side separately then?
Yes, so there are details about how.
Oh, it's
the
in combat
attacks go.
below, yeah,
So
yeah.
in the combat, the Ettinling is considered 2 separate targets in combat, Will and Way. So magical effects that would like haste can only affect one or the other. A firebolt can only hit one or the other. And so
But Fireball's still gonna hit both.
Fireball is still going to hit both. So there's definitely some kind of trade-offs to it. But because you guys are shared body, the creators were well aware of this and actually gave you additional like death saves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's also why you have more hit points through your doubled con, right?
Yeah.
So, because really, no matter how you look at it, one person's going to be tied to the failures of the other. So if
Yeah.
dim-witted Way charges into battle, Will is kind of stuck going with him. So it was kind of important to grant them extra hit points and extra death saves for that reason.
Leroy Dragons. Dang it, Leroy.
I don't want to go in. We are in though. We already here. I control egg. You don't control egg.
So Steve is asking if alliance are restricted. Nope, not at all, as far
Nope.
as we can tell.
It does suggest chaotic, but
Oh,
that
yeah.
was it.
Yeah,
That
I think
was
it was a
it.
suggestion. And I think that's good because they both are kind of unpredictable in that sense. There are a lot of details on the spells and saving throws.
Yes.
But the big core takeaway is that they're individual targets. You can't affect the one body with enhanced self or haste or anything like that.
Certain saving throws are different as well. What is it? I think intelligence, wisdom, and charisma throws are made individually. So if one's getting
So what-
charmed, the other one might not. I don't
Right.
know.
Or sleep.
Which
Well,
would
that's
be-
hit points based, so I don't know if that would work.
Well, they can sleep interchangeably though. So like
Yeah.
they can never be. Well, I guess if Way's resting, Will can't do much because he doesn't control.
Wake
the
up, you idiot!
It's just like slapping himself to wake up because he can't do anything else.
You're gonna suffer a level of exhaustion. He's about to suffer a loss of hit points if he goes back to sleep.
Can't crack his knuckles. He only got one hand.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
He's got to crack it on his
gotta
leg or
crack it.
something.
I didn't think about that.
Oh my gosh! But just even talking about this,
It's just so silly.
it sounds like so much fun, which is once again why I really wanted to discuss it.
Again, two players would really have to either like know one another to really want to do this, or like both be under an agreement. Like, hey, are you aware you will? Because obviously there's certain caveats to each one. So
But I think as long as each player understands which head they're controlling, it's fine.
Can you imagine both heads playing pranks on each other all the time? Did you ever watch that old Fantastic Four movie with Chris Evans in it?
Yeah.
When they're stuck inside the Baxter building, they're constantly playing tricks on each other. I totally think you could do that with Will and Way. One person who's just like, oh my God, if Will was a bard, you could have so much fun with that. Just like vicious mockering himself, talking a lot of smack. Because that would be a good way for him to interact with the other head without necessarily needing control over the body parts.
Right.
So they give you a great collection of names, and not only like Will and Way names, but then like a combined name. So if Way's name is Lugvav and Will's name is Alivar, the combined name would be Uligbar.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. So did you know that Ettinglings mature at age 10?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sounds really early.
Doesn't it? Like I guess you got two heads, twice learning, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
I suppose, yeah.
Yep. And we did, for myself, they both share a health pool, and their death states also work a little bit differently, too.
Yes. I didn't get too much into it because there's a lot of mechanics, but you have
Yeah.
like 5, I think.
So 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you
some
get 5
other
instead of 3 death saves.
there's some other little details and caveats that come with it. Once again, we don't want to go through all the heavy duty mechanics of it. There's a lot here, but
Double speak. I forgot about that.
you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. So if either head is, they have to make like a deception or intimidation or persuasion check, both players must roll a d20 and add their charisma modifier. If the head calling for the skill check scores better, then they make the check normally. Doesn't matter. But if the head that wasn't required to make the check scores higher, the head making the check does so at disadvantage.
And you don't get no say what's about it. Basically, you have to roll to see who can make the decision, which I think is awesome.
Like, it's like, oh, we're going to lie to him. He's like, oh, we're lying to him? He's like, well, now you said it.
Obviously, once again, I'm stuck with another head of a monkey.
So
He's the monkey.
there's an art piece in here that just cracks me up. It's 2 tombstones with a skeleton Etten crawling out of it, and it says, "Poor Brick, strangled by his bro. Poor Brack, didn't think it through." Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh, Lord.
So there's a whole entire section in here with special considerations and special
Oh,
interactions.
like wild shape.
The wild shape one is pretty interesting because basically whatever you make just now has 2 heads. So if you turn into a bear, it's a 2-headed bear. If you turn into a spider, it's a 2-headed spider.
That sounds
How
so
does that even work?
terrifying. Has 16 eyes. How are you ever supposed to? Well, they already have advantage on perception checks, but still.
Could you imagine them deciding, oh, Will, I got a good idea. Let us turn into a cat and spy on them. They will not suspect anything. They're gonna suspect a cat with 2 heads.
What? No, cats have 1 head.
Oh my god, something wrong. So you couldn't even be like a successful like infiltrator as a druid because everyone would be able to be like.
Well, no, I guess if you're like a tiny spider with 2 heads, no one's gonna
nobody's
notice.
gonna notice that, but man.
But like they're gonna notice a cat with 2 heads for sure.
Oh,
Woof.
I guess that would be cool. You could have fun. Maybe the heads don't always match up perfectly.
Yeah, one's a cat head, the other's like a bird.
Or whatever the last thing he turned into. Maybe it's still his normal head. Damn it, you didn't do the transformation right. And they start yelling at each other.
I wanted to do this. Wow. I understand cat.
Some of the other things that they do is they have a table for interactions, but some of the spells are like their length is changed. The durations are cut in half and stuff like that. because of the effect of.
Because you both essentially take turns as the same person, so
Yeah.
that one person that's in front of you is getting an extra action just bestowed upon them by another person.
That's a good example, like with haste, right? It would
Yeah.
benefit both. So. But there's a lot in here. With
Could you
the
imagine if
details.
haste only worked on like Will? So like he's got one really fast moving arm, but
The
like
other one's in slow
Way's
motion.
like, what are you doing? We can't fly. We tried.
That's funny. They also include some variant rules, specifically feats, which I think are just fantastic. They all do have some sort of prerequisite. Like the Scrapper is an Ettingling prerequisite. You are
Yeah.
accustomed to the rigors of fighting more than most. You gain the following benefits: increased con score and to a maximum of 20. You gain advantage on death saves. That's huge. That is really nice.
That's massive, actually.
And then once per long rest, you can use an action to spend one of your remaining hit dice. That's cool. That's basically a heal. That's not quite as potent as the Fighter's Second Wind, is it? Is that like 1d10 plus their
Fighter level.
fighter level? So
Yeah.
it's not quite as powerful.
Not
as
quite
that.
as crazy, but it's still pretty strong.
Were any of these feats interesting to you guys?
Close-up magic was interesting for sure, but I think the one that I thought was like almost necessary for the character was monkey grip.
Oh yeah, do you want to tell us?
That's the one where you wield a weapon with you're able to wield a weapon with the two-handed property with a single hand. You may only use two-handed weapons in this manner. So basically, if Wei really is hellbent on wielding a two-handed sword, Will doesn't want to do that. Will's like, just work out your arm or something for like 5 weeks
Are you
straight.
saying with that pretty much that where there's a will, there's a way?
Yes.
I'm now picturing Morty from that one episode of Rick and Morty, the Mad Max episode. We had a massive arm.
Just one big giant arm.
Because like
And
otherwise,
Arm
like,
has his own mind on top of that.
The arm has its own mind.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because then if like say like Wei is
Actually,
wielding a two-handed weapon, wouldn't that mean Will obviously Will has to hold it because he's the other arm, right?
Actually, I'm
So-
pretty sure Monkey Grip was 3.5 feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
huh. But still, like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of necessary.
If you want to be a barbarian, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this way specifically that you can use one in this manner. That's a really good option. So that way, when they are, you do have one that's a caster and one that wants to play a melee. You aren't gimping the person by only limiting him to one hand,
Yeah.
a one-handed weapon. Because really, if the other hand didn't agree,
Then yeah, you're
you
stuck with a
wouldn't-
one-handed
yeah,
weapon.
you couldn't even use versatile.
Yeah.
That would be such a pain in the ass to. No, I refuse to use a sword.
No.
They're uncivilized.
But we aren't civilized. That's why we have swords.
See what I have to deal with every day of the week?
Speak for yourself. Speak for me, yourself.
Speak for ourselves.
Me, you.
Oh my
Yeah, but
gosh.
how do I refer to us?
We. You refer to
Oh.
us as we. That's how grammar works, you idiot.
So
Is the grammar something I can eat? That sounds a lot like graham crackers.
there's a Dungeon Master section for inspiration for role playing the Ettinling.
In case you want it to be in the world and maybe no player wants to use it, well, maybe you can just send one after your players.
And so I really like this. They've got like a whole detail on mannerisms and everything.
But you could totally use this for your players.
Yeah. So, for instance, they got an Ettingling quirks. Here's an I cannot say Ettingling action. The Ettingling begins a slow clap, made awkward as the two heads have trouble synchronizing their hands. Another one says, Wei interrupts the conversation using its hand to push Wei's face away.
Shut up! I'm gonna beat the heck out of you.
So there's a couple of those. I really like the duo phrases table.
Yeah.
So would you two like to play Will and Wei, or Wei and Will?
You're Will, right? Yeah, you're Will. You're
Wanna
the
be
smart
Will?
one.
Yeah, I'm Will.
You be Will, you be Wei. Why don't you give us a couple of those examples?
We need to make sure this doesn't drag on.
Dragon? Where?
No. No.
You said Dragon.
Is that the right hand?
Dragon? Dragon. Drag it. Drag on. Why you say it so weird? Well, another one.
It's a phrase. It's a common phrase people use. It has nothing to do with dragons or any other winged reptilian beasts.
Dragons have wings?
Yes!
Oh,
Drakes don't have wings.
how do I hit them?
With your axe when they're on the ground, like you always do.
Oh, yeah.
We're having way too much fun with this. You want to give him one more example?
There is spell work here.
I sure hope it does. It'd be really bad if spell didn't work here.
Quite.
Oh my gosh, you guys. This shit is hilarious. And there's a bunch of these. There's so much
man.
inspiration.
And there's also a few extra encounters in here too, as well as
Which I think
maps,
we're doing
NPCs,
in,
quests.
we're doing that for the Arner tips and tricks, right? That's what we're doing. Do we have that?
We're touching on that.
Are we touching on it?
yeah.
Okay.
We're touching.
So yeah, it does come with some additional little encounters and stuff that you can use to get the Ettinling into your games, and it's fun. So overall, what do you guys think about this player option? Would you guys be willing to give it a shot?
I would.
There might be one or two things you have to work through here and there just so we're on the same page. But other than
Yeah.
that, like as we kind of mentioned, area attack spells.
Yeah.
And I think there's some rules for those, and details. One thing I think would be fun to do this and treat it like the Three Stooges.
Yeah, except now you only got two.
Instead of poking each other in the eye and fighting on constantly and shit. It just sounds like so much fun. And as you can tell, we just had a blast going through this, and you can see the banter that was created at the table without really much, incentive other than it was interesting.
I'm trying to work on a diplomatic solution. You need to be quiet. Oh, what's a diplomat? Why is it tick?
Use aggressive negotiations. Yes, I do enjoy this topic. Is there anything else you think we should have covered that we might have missed?
I think we overall nailed down the documents, though.
Yeah, there's some nice maps in here. There's monster stat blocks and stuff.
Oh yeah, in case you want to throw it at your players,
which is fun. This one's really nice. This Titan. I think that's supposed to be Titan.
Yep.
Is that what that is? Titan.
I didn't think about that, but okay, yeah, probably.
He's part caster, part barbarian, which is just glorious. So.
He has one big weapon and one smart weapon. That's what Way would say.
So actually, it's not part of our.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay.
It's just part of the thing here, the show notes. So I did want to. We were going to talk a little bit about the Ettin Bridge, but I don't think it's necessary. It's basically a very humorous encounter that would really make this just a memorable experience for anybody involved. Whether the players are playing it. See, that would be the fun of it,
One
though,
of us
right?
is telling the lie. The other's telling the truth. Wait. Am I telling the lie or are you telling the truth?
He doesn't remember.
How does the riddle go again?
Well, I forgot the answer.
Well, first off, you ruined the riddle when you started to talk.
Crap.
So
We're doing stuff like that.
Yes, it's,
yeah.
Or in Journey Quest, when they encountered two gargoyles, one told the truth, one only tell lies. The dumb fighter just outright kills one of them and listens to everything the other one says, and it's the lie one. And he drags it along with him wherever he goes. And he does not pick up on the fact that everything it says is a lie.
It's like, I tell the truth, the other tell lie. Well, the Way kills that one. Is he dead or is he alive? He's alive. That one tell lie. I figured it out without your help this time. Well.
I don't need you. I think that'll do it for our main topic. It's a little shorter, but this was definitely something I wanted to cover because it just was so much fun to talk about and read through.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to our Under Tips and Tricks, Ian, what are we giving away today?
We are once again giving away from Jeff Stevens, Encounters on the Savage Seas 2. Revolutionize your game with this collection of 16 mini adventures and includes NPCs, locations, creatures, and magical items for you to use on your nautical adventure.
Yeah.
Water's hard.
Who's our... Yeah, did you guys all die? I think you all died, didn't you?
We didn't die. I killed everyone.
Oh, that's right. You got mind control. Did you
I
get
got mind control.
We
by,
all got dominated.
It
Yeah,
was bad.
I got
It was a bad
dominated by a
Kraken.
not a kraken. It was
Obelisk.
an obelisk. Yeah.
Yeah.
He enslaved them.
And I was like, haha. Hey guys. The Deep One sends his regards.
Say hello to my pointy friend that I stole from my other pointy friend.
Yeah.
Who's our winner today, Austin?
Mike at Dark Garage.
I normally don't include that, but I didn't know anybody would know who Mike is. So I'm like, I'll leave that part in there. Congratulations, Mike. If you enjoy the adventure, please leave Jeff Stevens a review.
Yeah.
If you didn't win, have no fear, because Crit Academy is here. Head on over to critacademy.com/Jeff Stevens to get encounters on the Savage Seas 3 absolutely free. Some good stuff there.
Yeah.
I love me some nautical adventures.
I've suddenly not liked them as much after that. Swimming is hard. So is not have. I was a human. I couldn't see very far. I couldn't use my one skill that I had, which was survival, and you know.
It was rough. Shame on me.
I'm pretty sure most characters I've ran are afraid to sail across the ocean, and I was like, why? Have you read the Master Manual? Do you know what's in the ocean?
Do you know what's out there? No.
Oh man. Yeah.
And now, what you've all been waiting for. Our Unearthed Tips and Tricks segment, where we bring you new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
God, that's awesome.
It's so good.
So, Ian, would you like to tell us about our character concept today?
Yes, our character concept is based on our main topic, and it's basically called, Can't We Have Just Stayed Home?
No! We don't go home.
So this character is definitely a Will and Way Ettin character concept, correct?
Oh yeah, the
Awesome.
Will Head just wanted to stay home and learn a family trade and build off the family legacy.
He's gonna get really good at cutting gems with one arm.
The Way Head wanted to become an adventurer, see the world, make a name for himself. Will objected. Way, being the one who controls the legs and where they go, said screw you, went off and did it anyway.
I control the legs. I choose where we go.
Will keeps trying to sabotage her adventures as much as possible, but at the same time, keeps trying to take levels in a class for the sake of self-preservation, and determine if they're going to die, it at least won't be his fault.
Oh my gosh. So when I read this creation, you guys, I was cracking up because this to me would totally be a fun character for me to play as the Will, where I am just doing everything I can to terrorize the other player. I would get way too much fun out of that. I think
Prestidigitation would be your best friend.
Oh yeah, dude, like it would be just like weird shit too, like minor illusion, a box over his head.
I can't see. What happened?
No, just so you could
Who
sleep
turned out the sun?
He could sleep a little longer. Like if you cast it over his head, you just sleep a little longer.
He's
Like an alarm clock.
Now we're not gonna have to go. Because he controls the legs at least, so now that means I get to sleep a little more too.
Oh, dude, what if Will is on a diet and Way's not?
I didn't think about that.
What if he's like yelling at him, why are you eating that stuff and putting it in our body?
Wait,
It's delicious.
so does that mean if one drinks alcohol, the other one gets drunk too?
I don't know.
Because they have to share the same bloodstream, right? And I'm assuming
I
that...
assume. I guess I don't know. I'm not a make-believe doctor. In a world of fantasy with dragons and wishes and dark vision. I don't know. This is
drinking so much wine. I'm starting to lose how to talk. Whew! That's some strong stuff. What are you drinking? I don't know.
You don't know what it is, and you're drinking it.
They called it dragon's juice. Tastes like cherry. Burns like eel.
Oh man.
You've never eaten a cherry in your life.
No, but you have. Right? Do I know what you taste? That's another thing.
If you drink something, does he taste it? I don't know. I don't know. I love the idea of one character just wanting to go home the whole time.
Wait. When did you eat that?
No!
It was spaghetti 3 days ago. What are you must have been sleeping. I don't know what happened.
Oh my God. Bourbon toe. Ah! Have some of that bourbon toe.
Oh man.
Oh man. Did you guys ever watch that Cheech and Chong movie where the other one felt the other one's pain?
No.
You never seen that? Like they would tickle one and the other guy would laugh. So how does that work? Like, is the guy in control of the body the one that feels all the pain?
Well, I
And the
guess they're
only
both
pain
kind of
that
in
will-
control of most of the body.
Oh.
One just chooses not to have dominance over it, right?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, Steve here.
Says Will is extremely hetero. Way is not. Don't be so silly. Oh, we're gonna cast a spell on you today. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Like the one's checking out the Ettin chick, and he's like, "Hey, Will, isn't that nice?" He's looking at his own ass. Yeah, buddy.
Are we brothers? Shit.
All right,
Or something.
It's taking a weird turn. I think it's
Now
great
it's taking a
character
weird turn?
concept. Yeah, right. I think this is a great character concept.
man.
One wanting to stay home while the other one wants to become a venture. I think it would be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Definitely do it. That'll do it for our character concept. Can't we just stay home? No. That's a good name. Oh, man.
I say no, so therefore no.
Our monster variant of the podcast is the Savage Minotaur.
Sounds awesome.
Minotaurs are fierce, bull-headed monsters.
This one more so.
Yes, most Minotaurs have a liking for mazes, so much so that in addition to seeking out these buried labyrinths to call home, they also like to engrave complex designs into their armor and weapons.
Ooh.
While the Minotaur is not particularly clever lot,
Much like Way.
they have an uncanny way of tracing and memorizing complex pathways to hunt down their prey.
That's true. I never thought about that.
A few of these savage, hulking beasts are infused with demonic blood, making them stronger, faster, and more bloodthirsty than most of their kin. Though they all love to hunt lonely, wild places, killing and eating any who dare to enter their lair. So, I was scrolling through my 4th handbook again, or monster manual, because I've got way too many of those. I've got more 4th edition books than I do 5e. That's
fair.
I need to fix that. But anyways, so in order for this to work, you're going to start with the origin monster, the Triceratops. I wonder why he chose the Triceratops. Is it almost because it's a giant, huge monster with big, giant horns already? You got it.
Probably.
So you're going to change the intelligence score to a 7 so it's not completely
I
incompetent.
love how it says increase to a 7, and I'm like, oh man, what was it before?
It's like a 3, I think.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's a stupid animal. Its stomp ability becomes Great Axe, and you just change it to slashing damage. You don't have to change anything else about the feature. You're going to give it labyrinthine recall, which basically lets the Minotaur perfectly recall any path it has traveled. And you're going to add some new abilities. The first one's going to be berserking. So whenever the Savage Minotaur starts its turn with 60 hit points or fewer, you roll a d6, and on a 6, it goes berserk. It has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Guess where that's from? That sounds like rage.
Yeah.
And on each of its turns, while berserk, the Minotaur attacks the nearest creature it can see. And if no creature is near enough to it to attack, it just attacks an object. With a preference for objects that are smaller than itself. Like boxes, I guess. I don't know. Oh,
That's a mighty 3-foot diameter rock. I'm going to crush it.
once it goes berserk, it continues to do so until it is destroyed or regains all of its hit points.
Huh. Oh, all of its hit points.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it kind of goes nuts. It's very much a Hulk kind of build.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hulk smash, lose any sense of itself. I kind of envision the demon blood kind of taking over. and
Yeah.
only seeing red. See what I did there with the bull and the red
Yeah.
comment? I thought
Okay.
that was very clever.
And for bonus points, make it voiced by Michael Dorn.
Who?
He played Worf from Star Trek.
Huh.
But when you look at his filmography, I'm like, he seems to voice Minotaurs a lot.
Happens.
Yeah,
Like, like I've like looked at his IMDb profile. I'm like, he's done at least 3 Minotaurs throughout the years, at least.
Does he got like a good snort or something? Like
I just think it's just a deep, big voice.
big burly voice.
Yeah.
All right. So
Second ability.
You get a new ability called Sweeping Ferocity. So when the Minotaur's hit points reach 0, it can use its reaction to make an attack with its great axe. When it hits a creature, the Minotaur can choose another creature within 5 feet of the original target and within its reach. If the original attack roll would hit the second creature, it takes damage equal to half the attack damage. The damage is the same as the damage type dealt by the originally attack. So this character does have charge and like the gore type stuff that comes from the Triceratops build. But I always like monsters that change up when they get weak. And giving a one last hurrah to catch somebody off by surprise is just one of my favorite things to do. Like, can you imagine you walk up with your daggers, you dig them into his neck, and he flails wildly, and pure anger is all that's running him as he's swinging wildly trying to chop people up before he keels over. So what do you guys think about this monster?
Definitely aggressive.
Good flavor.
I'm not going to go into a labyrinth anytime soon.
I just want to kill everyone.
That's the point of a monster, more or less, usually.
Yeah, well, this one gives me a reason for people to die and it not be my fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I designed it, so it's still my
Yeah,
fault.
I don't think that.
I'm not gonna lie, as I was reading through this, I kept on picturing back in like the forgotten cartoon Hercules the Animated Series, which Disney made after the movie. And there was one episode where they dropped the Minotaur into the labyrinth for the first time. Dead end. Another dead.
Turns out he doesn't have an amazing IQ of tracking paths. He just ran in the wrong way every direction possible.
Well, it just got dropped in there for the first time, so in its defense.
So he runs, stops. He's like, ah! That's funny.
That's great.
And once again, voiced by Michael Dorn.
That's awesome. I think that'll do it for our monster variant, the Savage Minotaur.
Definitely a fun one.
Austin, would you like to tell us about our encounter of the podcast?
Sure. Our encounter today is called Lost Love by patron Lucy the Banished. A corrupt Cupid is flying around, breaking up couples, causing dissent in the city. Probably a lot of debauchery going on.
Definitely.
News spread that the king and queen have decided to divorce and will split the city in half, possibly causing the civil war.
Oh, sorry, I totally just messed that up on you. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, a civil war, not
Well,
a
we're
civil
splitting
war.
the city. I'm getting the bathhouses. Oh, you always want the bathhouses. Why do you want the bathhouses, honey?
Like it have a harem.
Cupid has its lair in the city's subterranean sewage system, and the only one who knows how to navigate there is the deranged ranger calling himself the Rat King.
What do you guys think of this encounter idea?
Nice.
I want to find the corrupt Cupid. I want to be like, hey, why are you doing this?
This just sounds like a lot of fun in general because
Could it break up the party?
I imagine it could.
Ooh.
Definitely
some-
cause some dissent in the group, into the ranks, especially if you have any that are kind of close. Because it says couples, but it could just be affect friends too, right?
Yeah.
I like this because why is the Cupid at fault? It's corrupt? Is it corrupt because something else infected it, or did it just like fall from grace or whatever? And
Yeah, it's
now
just like
his boyfriend broke up with him, and now he's all pissed off about it.
And now
He's like,
it's time to murder everyone.
if I can't be happy, nobody else can be. I'm gonna start a war. You know? Yeah. Or maybe the Cupid doesn't know that his arrows are doing bad.
Yeah, he's like,
Like somebody crippled his arrows without his knowledge.
Yeah, So the players run into this situation where they're expecting this big bad.
Definitely a lot of ways you can go about
Yeah.
this.
It definitely gives a lot. I love the little detail of the deranged ranger called the Rat King. Like, what are you doing? Why are you in my sewers? This is my place. Get out of my place. Oh, we're looking for a Cupid. Oh, a what?
I was actually kind of picturing sewer urchin from the Tick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got a back Cupid? Oh, definitely a back Cupid. Yeah, sure, I can definitely help you with that. Definitely.
It'd be funny that the ranger wants to help out because he just wants them out of the sewer. He's like, please, you want to help me evict this guy? Do it. Let's do it. We'll do it. You need arrows? I got arrows. I'm doing great today.
Oh man.
First, the whole city goes to shit, and now I'm here. Now I got some other winged creature in my home, and now you guys are here too. I just want everyone out. That's it.
Do you know what I think can make this even better? Is the players may not, or the characters may not be onto what's going on right away. They might be trying to solve an issue of civil war, and
So like the Civil War's already like happening.
yeah,
Okay.
they show up and they're trying to stop this city from tearing itself apart, just to find out that it's all fabricated in a creation of this Cupid who may or may not know that they're doing it. I don't know. That just seems like a very fun. I don't want to say non-combat, but an adventure that's not really combat heavy, but roleplay heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens if you find out the Cupid's got a collection of all kinds of different arrows and somebody accidentally gets shot with the wrong one? It'd be a good way to introduce special arrows to your like rangers and stuff. What if that's what the ranger's after? Maybe the ranger's after the Cupid's arrows.
That took a turn.
Dun dun dun.
You never know. All right, so I think that'll do it for the encounter of the podcast. Ian, would you like to tell us about the magic item?
The magic item is the smoke stick, which essentially counts as a potion, uncommon item. This vial of alchemical black dust ignites when broken and releases a haze of obscuring smoke into the area. As an action, a character can throw this alchemic vial at a point up to 60 feet away. The vial creates a 10-foot radius sphere of dust, centered on the point where it was broken. The sphere spreads around corners, and its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for about a minute or until a wind of moderate or greater strength, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it.
Ninja vanish.
Is this basically a smoke bomb?
Yes.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
I would love this item.
Yeah, I think this would be great for any rogue or any character who likes to hide a lot.
Just like the. Could you imagine from that one magic item we had? I think it was 2 weeks ago with the whole knife thing that carves a little dimension pocket. So you're just like, well, he's got to be in there somewhere.
Like you combining magic items.
Where did he go? There's no. It's an open room, guys.
He did the ninja vanish thing. Throw it down and it's gone. I love it. This was very simple, but it's a consumable potion that's uncommon. So you can make it a resource that the players have to buy, or they pick up from an enemy who just constantly steals from people and is vanishing in thin air. Or they give the illusion that they're vanishing. Turns out they just know minor illusion. They throw that, and then they make a door, or a box, and they hide behind it or something, and everyone just leaves.
That's great.
So, what do you think, Ian?
This is useful.
It is. I like it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
like this kind of stuff.
It's very simple and straight to the point, but it's definitely a fun one. So,
Yeah. Can have its uses.
yeah, for sure. And like I said, I've always said it before. I am very much on utility train.
Could you imagine
items.
having like 10 of these and just like throwing this, like obscuring a whole house?
Oh man,
Just like, all right, guys, I have a plan. And you just see the rogue just holding all these
a big
vials.
vial of
He's
them?
like, I have a plan.
this will work. I promise.
What's that?
Big smoke starts coming out. Did Way let one go again?
Oh no.
Todd says, "I'm Batman." Then Ian follows up with, "I'm not saying I'm Batman. I'm just saying we never been seen together." And that'll do it for our magic item, the smoke stick.
That's a fun little one. I like
Our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast is 3 sense descriptors. Whenever you describe something important, use 3 different senses. You spot the fortress the kobold informant told you about. It looks centuries old, fallen into disrepair long, long ago. You can't see it, but you can hear the unmistakable sound of kobolds' grunts and screams that they call a language. You smell smoke and burning meat from somewhere inside. Or the dwarven blacksmith hands you a newly crafted sword. It's silver with white and red designs and a green jewel in the base of the handle. The metal is cold to the touch and numbs your fingers when you press them against the blade's edge. You swing it through the air and you hear a hum not dissimilar to a tuning fork. Now I got this from Reddit, and I tried to go back and find the Redditor post, It was like a collection of DM tips. If I can, I will try to make sure it gets into the show notes. But what do you guys think about this tip?
This is definitely something that you shouldn't do all the time. Like, this will drastically drag on some of your campaign. But if you are a guy, like, if you're going into a new setting, this is very, like, writer-esque of this whole thing. But if you're going into, like, a new city, obviously you want to make, you know, this is a new city, you want to set the setting, right? But once you set the setting, you don't need to keep setting the setting.
Yes.
Tolkien.
By keeping it to 3 things, it's easy to remember those things, right? If I tell you you walk into Baldur's Gate and the smell of fecal matter and piss,
you're gonna remember that.
You're not gonna forget that.
I remembered that one. Or
That's
like
just...
you hear the constant clamoring of people and like horse carriages frantically going about. Like it's the reason it's a detail is because it's different from the norm.
Yes.
Which is huge. That's the point.
Yeah.
And obviously you can say you see like broken down buildings and maybe there was once a fire on one of these. Maybe you can still smell the smoke.
Smell it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Stuff like that.
And that's important because you don't need to describe everything, but if you take a second to just describe the important aspects on the setting or the piece of information, whether it's a puzzle, a scene, a weapon, whatever it is, it makes that become more important. So as Austin said, you don't want to get into that too much because then the players are going to think everything's important and it's not.
Yeah.
We've talked in the past about having short descriptions. When you describe a graveyard to somebody, you don't need to describe every damn tombstone. You just need to say that there's a collection, you're in this dark, graveyard, the sun is down, the moon is high, the crows are chirping, and the smell of freshly turned soil. That's it.
For Pete's sakes, you don't have to just spend an entire page describing one tree.
Yes.
Yeah, I would hope not. Anyway.
I didn't do that, did I?
No, but J.R.R. Tolkien sure did.
That sounds like a J.R.R. Tolkien
I was just remembering when we did our Descent into Avernus stream, I literally stopped in the middle of a long read. It said, Watsy, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yep.
The thing was like half a page.
And it was about, getting into, Baldur's Gate. That was it. That was the whole half a page. You can definitely shorten it down to keep your players interested and not suddenly just see them all on their phones
When
scrolling through.
the DM is losing interest reading it, it's too long.
Then the players probably have to.
Right.
It's a good rule of thumb.
But anyways, this is a great tool when you want to get your point across of something important. 3 senses. My favorite is smell. That you can almost always...
And I think smell is always so good to go to as well because smell is something that we as people always remember. It's one of our better senses to remember things by. So
at last I have found the sword of pot. Wait, where's the sword? That's cloth here. Smells like failure. Perf!
Failure. That reminds me too much of my childhood.
Oh man, the smell of failure. Oh.
Yeah, I got a lot of that.
Doing great.
That's good. That'll do it for our Dungeon Master tip, 3 sense descriptors.
I totally stole it from Journey Quest.
Oh,
it's funny. Our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by making sure you're keeping up on your arcane studies. Today we have a really fantastic combo of spells, the command spell and the find familiar. With the command spell, you can disarm your enemy into dropping their weapon. Then you have a familiar, this works best if it can fly, swoop down and pick up the damn thing and then carry out of its reach. Or maybe into a tree, off a cliff, into a lake. Somewhere, or even back to one of the players. Because you can significantly gimp NPC or monster by taking their weapon.
Also, if the ogre has a giant flaming battle axe, you can command the ogre to drop the battle axe, and now your barbarian, who now has a shiny new toy, can defeat said ogre with giant flaming battle axe.
You can have your familiar bring the battle axe. Now, this is something I had to look up because there is only one weapon on the standard equipment list that's more than 10 pounds, and it's the pike. Everything else is under 10 pounds. You know that?
I guess weapons are made to be somewhat light, so I can see that.
So they're, what's the word? Usable.
Yeah. So I can actually use my axe into people.
like Claymore, Scottish Claymores, for example, are not as heavy as most people think they are.
They're not. They're actually surprisingly light.
Yeah.
I'm making that up.
What do you guys think about this tip.
Something that players should probably do.
Yeah. And
Especially if getting like cool like random magic items that your DMs are like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Average Scottish Claymore weight, 5.5 pounds.
there you go.
That's surprisingly
That's
light.
lighter than I would have expected.
Yeah, Scottish Claymore's a big freaking.
I'm like a Zweehunder's 10 pounds, but those things are freaking huge.
Yeah, those are not made to just cleave through one human. Those are made to cleave through multiple humans.
Actually, they were made to kill spearmen.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what they were made for. They were made to combat spearmen because it's basically as long as a spear.
Why wouldn't you just get spears?
Well, that's what you call it, the spearheads.
Oh, because it's made of wood and your sword's not. I
Well,
got it.
hopefully it's made of wood.
Anyways, back on topic.
Yeah.
This is a really simple combination, and it really doesn't have to be the command spell and find familiar. You can just disarm enemies, but this is a quick way. One word: disarm. That's it.
Or surrender.
Yeah, but that's not gonna work as
Yeah,
well.
surrender won't probably make them drop their weapons, but
Probably sheath them maybe.
yeah, but still.
Yeah,
I mean, they're unarmed.
This is a really simple one, and a lot of different classes I think can pull this off. Specifically, the find familiars, the wizard spell list.
Yeah, I don't know how many have find familiar, but even like paladins have like command
I
and
don't think any of them do. I think you have to take a feat to get it, but
command.
no, the find familiar.
I was gonna say I don't know any paladins that have, or any other classes really offhand that have find familiar, but I know a lot of classes tend to have command.
So this could be a 2-team effort, right?
And even then, like as long as you know the initiative, I guess, so they don't just pick the weapon back up on their turn. But
Which is why I know most people don't even bother disarming half the time.
as an extra, they can just be like, thanks, I guess.
All right. I think that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast.
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by keeping up with your arcane studies.
I always want to say you can avoid dickitude by just stop being a dick. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
always
harder
think that
for
one.
some to do than you would think.
I'm
I've been trying
aware.
it for 10 years and I'm still a dickhead.
Sure, they're not being a dick. I don't think you're the one who decides that.
Yeah, everyone around you. I got the sweetest wife in the world, and I'm a total asshole. So I don't know how that works. I remember Brandon saying, "You corrupted her. She used to be so sweet. Now she's as dirty-minded as me." Anyways,
Well, what can you do? Anyway, I think that's it for the podcast. Actually.
yeah,
A quick one today,
yeah.
especially comparative to some of our latest ones.
Please join us in our next episode where we'll be discussing deadly dungeon doors.
Something he's experiencing.
Yes, yes.
Oh
It's a
man.
lot of fun.
Anyway.
If you have any feedback on our tips and tricks or topics you'd like us to discuss, please send them to us. You can email them to us at critacademy@gmail.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Crit Academy.
We hope you enjoyed your experience here at Crit Academy. If you did, you can help others find the show by leaving a hopefully 5-star review on iTunes or your platform of choice. Or you can just send us a message telling us how much you enjoy the show. And also to be sure to give us a like and a share.
Make sure to subscribe to our show at critacademy.com. Follow us on twitch.tv/critacademy and subscribe on YouTube so we can help you on your future adventures, as well as a chance to win cool prizes each and every week. As you've probably seen in our giveaways, make sure to check out our fellowship members as well.
Yes, if you haven't checked out Inter-Party Conflict, Gabe and Jeff do an absolutely awesome job of answering your questions. They've been doing their content is just getting better and better every time I listen to them, so definitely check them out. Also, we want to thank Dmsguild for our partnership with them. Thanks to Dmsguild, you can, if you pick anything up, either through our affiliate links or just when you're out and about, use
Is it
the
Crit
coupon
Guild?
code
Crit Guild? Crit Guild.
to save 20%.
On the whole purchase, I believe, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
So definitely do that.
That means they like us.
So
Yeah.
Steve says no blank. You talking about no talk about blank? Because we did that.
I'm assuming.
I don't know. I'll answer it. We'll see if he responds.
Yeah.
That'll do it for us today. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Austin.
And I'm your co-host, Ian. Thanks for listening.
Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
Shink.
It was a good. Yeah, he says no blank,
Question
no
mark.
dice.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, I think that'll do it. He says, "Damn, I'm stupid." That's not true. You're fine. All right, let's all wave to the camera. You guys,
Bye now.
see you later.
See you
Thanks for
guys.
joining us today.